So he knows that he's either going to be creeping here, the Goblin Laboratory, or the expansion, and he checks this spot as it's very close. And we have a small skirmish here. He pops off a chain lightning and wave and uses his bats. Now, he's definitely winning this battle, but those destroyers are ripping up his grunts. Also, that pocket factory is doing some damage, and he decides to teleport out. He has several grunts in the red, so that was a very smart choice by him. He also wants to regain his mana with clarities, so it was a smart choice by him. Other things to do while you have the advantage like this is you can play the TP game, go hit the Undead's base while they're off creeping somewhere, and you have the expansion up, so he's gonna be wasting a lot more gold than you would. Now, like I said, this time it isn't a beetle, but he sends a ghoul there, and it counters that ghoul there trying to harass his expansion. So Boo's just going to mass up the destroyers in his base, and Saboshi is just going to sit at his base and buy regen some mana and buy a TP. Now there's not too much he can do. He does not want to hit the Undead base right now. Hitting the Undead base would be a disaster. You never want to attack the Undead base unless you have a very, very clear advantage. Say he has no units left. But right now, that would be very stupid. So he's going to go and creep, making sure, or hoping that the Undead or Boo is still in his base. So he checks here for a creep jack, and then he's going to creep the bottom right gold mine there. He wants to do this so that he can expand later on if he needs to. That's one of the things in Orc. You always want to creep an expansion so that you can expand, because without that expansion it's harder to win, especially versus destroyers. You'll see later how close this game is, even with Saboshi having that expansion up. It just shows how much how good those destroyers really are, and without the expansion it's very hard to win. Now, Boo is going to attack Saboshi's base here, and he's going to go with the burrows for the burrows. You want to make sure that you teleport in there right away, like Saboshi will be doing. If he kills all those burrows, or some of them, it's going to be hard to win, as you can't produce any counter to his destroyers. So the bats use their kamikaze ability, and like I said earlier, Saboshi is focusing on that pocket factory. He kills it. He uses wave and chain lightning on those spiders, ripping them apart. Now, those summons are a little bit of a problem, but he tries to not focus on the summons. He realizes this battle isn't going to go too good because of all those summons, so he's going to try to force a teleportation here. By doing that, he's going to focus on the Tinker. No, not yet. He uses a Wand of the Wind first. But he is going to force a TP very soon. So, right here it is. Forces a teleportation. Whenever you're losing a battle, and you know it's not going to go good, you want to force a TP by killing the hero. And if you get the hero, that's great, and he doesn't TP out, that's even better, because he's going to be at a very big disadvantage then. So that TC and Farseer hit level 5. Those are great levels for those two heroes. And you always want to be harassing with these invisible wolves, level 3 wolves. You want to be sending them to scout the Undead expansions if they have any, or to go to the Undead gold mine and pick off some acolytes. It's going to be very annoying for the Undead, and it will put them at a slight disadvantage if they lose any acolytes. Like if they're creeping, they always have to go back at their base. It's going to also slow down their creeping, so keep those things in mind. Now, Saboshi is taking his peasants to the right-hand gold mine, like I said earlier, and he's going to be expanding I think it's later on in the game. Saboshi produces wyverns and bats. That's better than just bats or just wyverns. They work well together versus destroyers. Now this is quite dangerous here with Saboshi's Tauren Chieftain quite low, and with all those the Pocket Factory and the Crypt Lord having summons. Those wyverns aren't too effective right now, as that spider is just netting them, and the heroes are just ripping them apart. Saboshi is also producing raiders. That's to kill heroes, and also when the destroyers run away, you want to be able to net one or two. So raiders are always a good idea. Now you can tell Saboshi already has the expansion up, and he's having a tough time just with these destroyers. So it shows how much that expansion is, how important that expansion really is. Now Saboshi is just healing up his heroes while he's waiting here. Now he's going to lose his TC. Very nice move by Boo there with the impale. But Boo is also going to lose a bit here. These are where the raiders come in very handy, as he can net both heroes, and he gets them both actually. So always keep one or two raiders, even against destroyers. If it seems like it's worthless, it's not. And here again, he can net a destroyer and prevent it from escaping. I'm not sure why he runs away here and doesn't kill that destroyer. I'm not sure why, but he's going to get it later on anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now the expansion allows him to buy back his Tauren Chieftain here. I don't know if that's really worth it, as he still has to wait for Boo to build both his heroes, and Boo will probably just be sitting in his base anyways. Here he gets the destroyer again, thanks to the raiders. Now his TC is going to level up to 6 very soon, and that is a very nice level. And you could almost say a game-winning level, not for this game, but it's definitely a very nice level to get. Reincarnation is very nice. Now Boo here has no expansion, and it's looking pretty grim for him, as both his heroes are gone, and he only has about 1,000 gold left in his gold mine. Saboshi sending those wolves to harass Boo's base, like I said earlier. That's what you want to try to do. Now there's no point in really creeping, as both his heroes are level 6. He also hasn't expanded yet, but he will soon by that right gold mine over there. Now, if you look at Boo's base, you can see the 2 wolves there. He's not going to go and attack because he doesn't want to give him free experience. There's no point in doing that. The destroyers will just devour it, so you don't want to attack when they're in his base. Saboshi pretty much won this game. He picks up a healing scroll. You always want to have those when you have around a 60 or 50 food army. They work very effective, especially when you micro well, and they're definitely worth the 250 gold. So always buy those, and a scroll of protection is also nice if they don't have destroyers. Boo also built some gargoyles. I'm not sure why. Those gargoyles will just get eaten alive by bats, so if you're an undead, I wouldn't recommend going gargoyles unless they have just pure wyverns, and even then I wouldn't get too many, as the bats will easily counter them. So all that Saboshi can do right now is check for expansions. You'll want to keep an eye out on all of the expansions in which Boo could expand on, so he's doing that. And so Boo's gold mine runs out here. Pretty much good game. If you look at the food supply, Saboshi has 68 or 66, while Boo only has 43. It is surprising though how strong those destroyers really are. Now with the armor upgrade, the destroyer or the undead will usually get one armor upgrade for the destroyer, as it'll take an extra bat to kill him. So that's why if you see a spider with an armor upgrade, they'll probably be going destroyers. If you see a damage upgrade on a spider, that's usually what a spider would get. So you don't have to worry about that. Now Saboshi sees those 3 acolytes, so he's gonna go and try to kill them. He also sees his ghoul here. And he also keeps a wolf here on the army. Oh, he just got a kill though. But you can, if you click the move button on one of their units, the wolf won't attack, but it'll follow their army. That's a good thing you can do. Kind of a scout. Very nice. This game is basically over. Saboshi has the advantage here with that expansion, and another one going to be built very soon. Hero choices for Boo. The Tinker is, he was kind of going for mass summons here, but I find the Crypt Lord and the Tinker not that good. Maybe together they're a good team, but I find that the DK and the Lich are definitely a better hero choice. Now here he teleports right away. He doesn't want those burrows to get destroyed, like I said earlier. So he totally decimates Boo's army. But even there with the food advantage, it's still very, very close. So it just goes to show how important that expansion really is. So always expand at tier 2, and make sure you look out for the destroyers coming, and you should have no problem versus undead. Anyways, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care.